104.5, the team, your home for New York sports. Joining us right now on the phone, Coach Tony Barbee from the University of Kentucky. And Coach, Kevin Knox has been drafted by the Knicks, and Summer League has been blowing my mind as a Knicks fan. Tell us kind of about how he became a Wildcat, first of all. What did you see in him that made you want to bring him to your school?
Well, no different than what you guys are getting an early glimpse of. You're talking about a wing with great size who, I mean, I'm hearing that he's grown since he's left here. If that's the case, that's scary if he's up to, 6'9", 6'10" now. To think of his abilities as a true wing player, to be able to put the ball on the floor, to be able to get his own shot, to be able to shoot the ball with range, well beyond the NBA line, to rebound because of his size at a high level. He's an unselfish player, so he'll make the right play, whether it's the score or the assist. And he's a developing defensive player. And it's scary to think that he was 17 when we had him, he's only 18 now. And what you guys are seeing early in the summer league, I mean, the Knicks fans got to be excited about what they see in Kevin so far and his future with the Knicks.
Kentucky practices can be so competitive. What is he like in practice for you guys during his tenure there?
Well, he's a competitor. He loves to play the game. He loves to work on his game. Kevin's one of those guys that will say verbally he wants to be one of the best to ever do it, and he backs it up with his work ethic. And it's not, he'll work in practice, obviously, when the coaches are there, but the time that he spends, outside of practice, honing his craft, working on his skills, developing his game, watching tape, all those things. He's a gym rat. He loves the game. He doesn't have, a lot of different interests outside of, basketball. He loves to play the video games like the kids do nowadays. But he loves the game and wants to be one of the best at it. So, you put that together, you see him in our practice atmosphere, where he's going against another All-American. It's no different than what you guys have seen on the floor. He's competing to win, and he's competing to be the best. And we throw his age in, and it's scary to think that his potential, where he could get to.
Kentucky assistant coach Tony Barbee with us right now at 104.5 the team. Coach, a lot of my friends, like when we're watching the summer league games in bars and they're watching me get excited over the dunks, like he almost looks like he's a cheat code. He's dunking from like half court. They're telling me to calm down because the translation from summer league to NBA. How quick do you think he'll make that translation, that leap, so to speak, since he's already leaping all over the court?
Well, it's going to be a hard transition for any college player, and especially. I mean, summer league obviously different than NBA regular season when you're playing against grown men every night, and he's still like a young man, so to speak. But when you look at his physical attributes, he clones his game out there to the Kevin Durant type, but he's not as even though Kevin's developed his strength, he's bigger than what you think. In terms of size-wise, I mean, at 215, 220 pounds, being able to move the way he does, I mean, it's scary to think. You try to temper down the expectations, but he's got big expectations on himself and what he wants to eventually be as a player.
Coach, take us through the process of when Kevin was deciding if the professional ranks were right for him. Did he offer, or did he ask any advice from you and Coach Calla what that next step could be like?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to we let the families and the player make the decision. Look, all we do is offer the best information we can generate from the owners, from the general managers, from the coaches that we know in the NBA level, and we'll lay out all the accurate information because these players, you can imagine, get so much misinformation from people. It's good that our players know that they can trust the information that we're getting are from the decision makers and not from the barber, not from his friend down the street, not from the bakery down the street corner. They're getting true information from the people who are making the decisions at that level, the true decision makers. So when they come to us, we'll lay out all the information of this is what it is. We'll give it to the player, to his parents, to their agents, so they have all the accurate information so they can make a well-informed decision. And Kevin was very deliberate in his decision. I mean, he understood how young he was and really considered coming back for another year for his development. But, based on the information we were getting, I mean, it was going to be a lottery pick in one form or fashion somewhere at that level. He had to go. And he's committed to it. Obviously, you see by his performance in the summer league so far. He's got everybody excited, and his growth potential is just ridiculous when you look at his age and where he could get to.
There are some athletes who may hesitate when they hear that a New York-based team may be showing them interest because it is New York. It's the Big Apple. There's a lot of media attention. Was there any ever hesitation about New York being a potential landing spot for him?
No, I'd say no. I mean, on the college level, there's not a bigger stage than playing at Kentucky. Obviously, Lexington's not Broadway, but it's very similar pressure in terms of the fans' expectations on this level. So he's prepared. Every game we play here is everybody else's Super Bowl. It's the biggest game on everybody else's schedule. So Kevin, even though it's the NBA, it's the ultimate level everybody wants to get to, Kevin's not going to be afraid to attack that situation and make himself the best player he can be and help the Knicks win on a different level.
The assistant coach for Kentucky, Tony Barbee, with us. Coach, now you've been successful in many places in Kentucky, great team. Now, let me ask a similar question what Gaz asked, but let me ask as a Knicks fan. Were you worried with Kevin going to the Knicks with how bad they suck?
Could Kentucky beat the Knicks is what he wants to know.
They're a team that's in transition. They're trying to build it, and they've got a great cornerstone piece in Kevin Knox that can help get the Knicks back to where Knicks fans in that city want it to be. And there's no question that Kevin's a great piece when you add him along, Porzingis, and the leadership now, the new coaching staff. I mean, I think Knicks fans should be excited about the future of that organization.
Coach, how much, obviously, during the college season, you're immersed in Kentucky basketball and all that. Do you get to watch NBA basketball at all?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I'm just a basketball fan in general, and then, it makes great watching when you're watching basically every team in the league has at least one Kentucky player. Some have 3, 4, 5. So, every night I'll have some NBA game on that I'm watching one of our guys play in.
Do you have any insight into Coach Fizdale and how Kevin Knox might fit with what he does?
Yeah, I think he's a great fit. I think both ways. I think Kevin will help Coach Fizdale where he's trying to go with the Knicks organization, and I think he'll help Kevin because of the tough-minded coach that he is, where he gets the best out of his players. He demands that they compete every night, every day in practice, and Kevin will be ready for that because it's what he faced here when you play for Coach Cal like I did back in the old UMass days, and now having him worked with him now for so many years and coached against him when I was a head coach. The very similar personality and coaching traits where they're demanding coaches who expect a certain level of performance every day, not just on game night, but every day in practice, every time there's a shoot around. And so I think Kevin will be prepared for that, and I think they'll both help each other grow that organization.
Coach, is there any chance we can smuggle some more of your players up to New York just to really help this along?
Please.
We'll have some on this team this year that you guys will want to, so keep an eye out.
Is this going to be another big year from Kentucky in store?
Yeah, it will be. It will be. I mean, the preseason rankings don't mean much, but they got us 1, 2, 3 somewhere in those slots, and so we expect it to be another big year. We finally got some returning players coming back. We didn't lose them all this year, so we're not starting with a whole team full of freshmen.
Yeah, I think most of the players are like, no, I'm not going to the Knicks, so go ahead, Kev. We'll stay here.
No, I disagree with that. It's the biggest stage in basketball. When you're talking about playing in the Big Apple, playing in the Mecca, in the Garden, so it doesn't get bigger than playing for the Knicks.
Coach Tony Barbee, we appreciate you, and I appreciate you feeding my Knicks ego. It means a lot to me.
Thank you, Coach.
No problem. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.